திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக வாரந்தோறும் சனிக்கிழமை ஆங்கில தொடர் த ஹோலி டெய்டிஸ் ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் சைவ மூர்த்தங்களை பற்றிய தெளிவை ஆங்கில தொடராக நம்முடைய அன்பிற்குரிய சரவணன் தம்பதியருடைய பெருமுயற்சியினாலே நிகழ்வதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. In the first series, we discussed about the Lord Vinayaka, and subsequently we have started with the Lord Muruga. Lord Muruga is the very popular and also very famous God for Tamilians. Not only for Tamilians, nowadays in foreign countries, so many other people were celebrating, and now they are also celebrating so many festivals of Lord Muruga along with the Tamilians. And we are happy to note that they are sincerely dedicated, and they felt the grace of Lord Muruga in their lives in various occasions, and so they were keen, they were very keen in offering their prayers to Lord Muruga on not only on special occasions but in routine life. They have been praying, worshipping Lord Muruga as their Almighty. So Lord Muruga finds place in every Tamilian's house, in every part of the world. If you go, you can find a Lord Murugan temple there. It is because Tamilians, wherever they live, they never forget. They will bring their Lord Muruga there. They will build a temple for him, and they will pay their respect, they will pay their prayers, they will worship, and not only that, they will conduct the festivals like Sashti, Mahasashti, Kritigai. All these special occasions will be celebrated in the temple. So we have been discussing the speciality of Lord Muruga's deity. It is the only God, or it is the only Muhurtham, it is the only deity which has 6 countenances and 12 hands with 2 feet. Of course, in some temple, he will be there with only one face, with the 4 hands. That is his usual form being prayed in most of the temples. But in temple like Virali Malai, the main deity, the primary deity, will be having 6 countenances and 12 hands. That is the most special feature of Lord Muruga. No other God has 6 faces and accordingly 12 hands. So we have been discussing the speciality of each face, what is the functional detail of each countenance, and we have been discussing the 5 countenances which are meant for the uplift of the souls from their miseries, sorrows and sufferings in this world. Souls should be aware that whatever they get in their lives, they are all given to them only according to specific rules. Haphazardly they are not been allocated for them, or that they don't come to them. Whatever I receive today, it follows a pattern. It follows a pattern only according to the rules. We may not know what are the rules, we may not know, but whatever we get, whether it is good or evil, it is definitely being given only according to our actions in the past. Our whole life has been designed only according to our past deeds, and those past deeds, they will definitely come in the form of goods and bads in our lives. Even though when the good comes, we are very happy, but when the evil comes, when the sorrow comes, we feel very bad, and we say that we try to fight, we try to accuse somebody else for that. Nobody is responsible for our sorrows and sufferings. Nobody can be. We can claim the responsibility from others. It is the responsibility of ours. Whatever we did in the past, it is now coming in the form of result. Is it not? So according to the result, people will have to correct themselves, isn't it? See, I am doing a test, blood test, results are coming. On seeing the results, what should I do? Seeing the results, I have to correct my actions, I have to correct my diet, I have to correct my style of life. Is it not? It is only the feedback I am getting. So whatever you get in your life, it is only the feedback. Whatever you did in the past, they are resulting now in your life. They are reflecting in your life. So kindly understand, Saivam says, the great saints say, please understand, nobody is responsible for your goods and bads. Thidum nandrum pirar tara vara. That much we must convince ourselves. So what to do? Whatever we receive, whatever we receive, bad or good, we must understand that something has resulted from because of my past action. My past action is reflecting in my present life. Okay, now what to do? Then we have to correct our style of life in this world. We have to correct the pattern, future pattern of our life. We have to correct our qualities. We have to correct our approaches. Above all, we must make a prayer to the Almighty to excuse what have been done in the past, to forgive what have been done in the past, and to bear with us for the things we have committed in the past. And we may ask His blessings to correct me, to correct ourselves, and to also bless us for the future life. Okay, the 5 countenances Lord Muruga assumed out of 6 countenances, out of 6 faces, those 5 faces, the functional details of those faces were discussed in the last session. In this session, now we are going to discuss about the last one, that is the குறவர் வள்ளியோடு நகை அமர்ந்தன்றே, குறவர் மடமகள் கொடிபோல் நுசுப்பின் மடவரல் வள்ளியோடு நகை அமர்ந்தன்றே. What does it mean? 6th phase, the 6th countenance. It has been dedicated It has been, it is mainly meant for what function? See, whenever we see Murugan, we will see him with the two spouses on two sides. Is it not? On his left, we may find his spouse, his partner, Deivayani, Deivayani. She is the daughter of Lord Indiran, Devendiran. He is the king of the heaven. He is the king of heaven. Amara Ulaga Adipati. On his right, he is having Valli, the another spouse, Valli. We may wonder that God has two spouses. Is it correct? People may wonder. But we must understand that only as an indication to make us understand the basic theory, it has been depicted as spouses for Lord Muruga. Either Valli or Deivayani, you should not think these worldly spouses that a man have. Isn't it? A man may be having two spouses, two wives, or we say a single wife, but we should not fit the same rule to the Almighty. Here you see a very beautiful deity picture of Lord Muruga with his 6 faces and 12 hands, and with his two spouses, Deivayani and Valli. But what we actually mean by spouses? See, the great the mercy or the great grace, Thiruvarul alladu Karunai, both are meaning the same thing. The same thing. That is, grace means mercy, mercy means grace. See, the souls may in their life, the soul in their life, in his life, for example, a soul in its life in this world may show mercy to another person with another body. A soul cannot show love or mercy to another soul directly, unless otherwise the soul should be in a body. The soul should be in a body. Then only it has the fitness to live in this world and to associate in this world. A soul without body cannot associate in this world. So, a soul with its body, a soul with its body, another soul with its body, these two souls can associate through their physical bodies. They can show love, they can talk to each other, they can express their views. All these things can happen only if they have the physical structure to associate in this world. You understand, please? You please understand. Likewise, you should not think that God is also compelled to have a body like us to associate in this world. It doesn't. The Almighty doesn't require that condition. Almighty assumes the form uruvam. The Almighty assumes the form Muhurtham. In Tamil we call Muhurtham. Kadavul Muhurtham, the holy deity. Of course, we are showing it in the form of stone, or in the form of a picture, in the form of a painting, or in the form of a metal form. All these things we may show, but that is not the real status. It's real status to make us understand. But the great people, Jivan Muttargal, the great people, the great saints, they have seen God in the mercy form or grace form, Thiruvarul Nilai. So, what they see in the form, they see the form, they are able to see, they are able to view, they are able to perceive. not in the form of a stone or metal or in the form of a painting. They are seeing really. It's a real scene they are seeing. In that form, Lord Muruga, the holy deity, will be appearing in the form of grace, Thiruvarul. You understand? Thiruvarul, Tirumeni. Okay. People in Saivam, the Thiruvarul, that is the grace, the karunai, the grace. It has a the personification of grace is called the spouse. Is called, we may call it as Devi, wife, partner, inseparable partner. So how can we view that? How can we view that? We can view as the sun and its rays. The sun is there, its rays are there. Sun may not directly come to earth. It is far away, about 9 crores of miles away. 9 crores of miles away. The sun is there. But we still see him by what? By his grace, by his rays. Is it not? The rays are reaching down to earth from the sun. Likewise, God may be everywhere. We are feeling its grace. The grace is like the rays of a sun. So we are feeling the grace, and that grace is personified as his spouse, Thiruvarul Sakti. So whatever, inseparable, you must understand that sun and its rays are inseparable, but they are known separately. Suryanum Kiranamum, sun and its rays. We may know them separately, but they are not separated, inseparable. Likewise, Lord Muruga and his grace. Lord Muruga and his grace is shown as Murugan Deivayani. Murugan and Deivayani. You understand? So, Deivayani, we must understand, is his spouse, means is his grace, is his mercy, the unmeasurable, unaccountable, the grace. Ellailla karunai, if you say in Tamil, Ellailla karunai, immeasurable grace, immeasurable mercy, that has been personified as a form. So when we saw Lord Muruga, when we saw the sun, we are also showing his rays. Likewise, when we saw Lord Muruga, we also show Deivayani in the form of his spouse. Means we must understand that Lord Muruga and Deivayani, they are nothing but sun and its rays. Deivayani is his grace. That's all. But to understand, we are showing them separately. You understand? Now, what about Valli? That comes the question, isn't it? What about Valli? Valli is also your spouse. But how to understand Valli? That is the main thing that we are going to discuss. Like Lord Muruga, inseparable from his mercy, Lord Muruga will also be inseparable from the souls that have reached them. So Valli is the matured Anma, soul, matured soul. So Atvidam is Dadanmi Atvidam, Suttatvidam. Both of them are inseparable state. They may be two, but they are inseparable. They are inseparably separate. You understand? You may get slight confusion, but don't get confused. They are separate, but since they are separate means don't think they are separable. They cannot be separated. For example, you must understand that there are two types of inseparation. Inseparability can be thought of in two ways. One type of inseparation or inseparability is like sun and its rays. This is known as Dadanviya Sambandham, inseparable state. They are not two, they are one and the one, but it looks like two things. Sun and its rays. It is one, but it is being viewed in two ways, that's all. It is only view that we are having in two ways, but they are not in two forms. They are in and out, they are only one. For example, take a coin. You have two sides. Can you say that two coins are separable? No, not at all. The head and tail for a coin, if you just try to understand, they may be separate, but they are not separate. They are one and the same of a coin. Likewise, Lord Muruga and Deivayani, they may be separate because he and his grace, sun and its rays, likewise. But what about Valli? It is also Advaita. Souls, for example, souls are trying to reach Lord Muruga to a state that Valli has reached. That is how Lord Muruga is showing. See Valli, she is nothing but you. She has reached me. I have taken her. Now she is inseparable from me. She is along with me. Likewise, he is asking all these souls, come and reach me. Come and get under my cover. It is also one type of Advaita. This type of Advaita, how can we say? See, for example, the soul and the body. Just to take an example. The soul and the body, are they separate? Yes, they are separate. Can they be separated? No, they cannot be separately viewed. There is soul, there is body. Body and soul, inseparably they are separate. Likewise, Valli and Murugan, they are inseparably separate. You understand? Valli and Murugan, Murugan and Deivayani. How can we view Murugan and Deivayani? Both of them are inseparable. Valli and Murugan, they are inseparably separate. That is the thing you must understand. You understand? Okay, that is why to show these two types of the amalgamation, the two types of unity. I do not know whether an apt word for Advaitam is available in English. I do not know, because that type of concept is not at all available in other religions. This type of concept, this concept is available only in Saivam, only in Saivam. That is the relationship between the soul and the Almighty is called the Advaitam or Suttadvaitam, where they are together but they cannot be separated. They are together, they are two in number with separate qualities, but they cannot be separated. Inseparably they are separate. Unless otherwise inseparably separate, because why we claim they are separate means one has to receive, other has to deliver. You understand? Lord Muruga has to deliver the bliss, another one has to receive the bliss. Is it not? So, the relationship between Valli and Murugan, The relationship between Deivayani and Murugan is very, very, very minute, and it should be understood. But to start with, the people will think that Lord Muruga is having two spouses on two sides. Just to make us understand, just to make us to come near him, this type of form has been given by the people, and the great people like Arunagirinathar, Srimad Paman Kumarudas Swamigal, they have worshipped Lord Muruga only in this form. So in this form, on the peacock, he gives darshan to Lord, to our great saint Srimad Arunagirinathar. So kindly understand that you should not think that Lord Muruga is leading a life like ordinary souls in the world. God, they never live lives like us. They don't have physical structure we have. They don't have physical attachment to the world as we have. We must view it in a different angle. We must because since the Almighty thinks that the souls are to be attracted, only in forms they will be attracted. If they want to, if we ask the souls in the physical structure to imagine things, it may be very difficult. It may be very difficult for them to concentrate. It may be very difficult for them to offer prayers. It may be very difficult for them to offer pujas. So, to start with, all the Almighty, the great God, the most powerful Lord, he comes down. Unless otherwise he comes down, how can the poor soul can understand him? So all our great saints had the vision, had the darshan, and then only they gave us the details. So don't think that out of imagination these deities are depicted, these deities are painted, these deities are formed. Don't think like that. These are the real picture, real vision or real appearance made by Lord to the great saints, and they viewed, they made darshan, they prayed. For example, you just take Triyana Sambandhar, Todudaya Seviyan, Vidayeri, what are all being viewed, he has registered in his song. What he saw by his eyes, or what appeared in his sight, what appeared before him, he just wrote the song. Not be wrote, he just uttered. It just came out of him. Is it not? Todudaya Seviyan. He is talking about the earring in the ear. Vidayeri, the great bull. Tuvan Madhisudi, the crescent. The god is, it appears in his beautiful pith. So all these details, not out of imagination or not out of illusion, our great saints gave. Likewise, our Arunagirinathar says, our Arunagirinathar gives the details in Tirupugal about Lord Muruga with all these details. How can Nakirar can give the functional details of the faces, unless otherwise he was having a vision like this. He had a vision. He depicted like this. He depicted in the form of a song what he viewed, what he saw. what was appearing before him, he just put it in the form of a song. Okay, now what I tried to impress upon you is that Lord Muruga with the two spouses, we must understand the real background or the real meaning of these two spouses he is having. Deivayani is his grace and Valli is the blessed soul. So, if you pray for him, if you are sincere in your love for him, he comes in search of you. That's what happened in the case of goddess Valli. Valli, the soul, became goddess. If you go under the if you go and get the shelter under the shelter, if you go under the shelter of Lord Muruga, naturally you get the divinity, is it not? So he shows whoever qualifies themselves will be along with me, will be with me, enjoying my bliss, inseparable from me. That's what he means by having Valli on his right side. This is the thing that has been shown in his sixth countenance. This is the theory, or this is what has been impressed upon the sixth countenance. What does it say? What does it say? Kuravar madamagal kodipol nusupin madavaral Valliyodu nagai amarndar. Valli, the name of the soul, Valli. Valli was always thinking about Lord Muruga, even though she was born in a forest. She was always as a matter of fact, the hunters in the forest, they took the child, the female child, and Nambirajan, he was very fond of a female child. So she grew up in the forest. She was leading a life of hunter's life, as a matter of fact. Very, very ordinary people. But she was sacrificed. She was dedicating all her time in the thought of Lord Muruga. Even though she was surrounded by her father, mother, and other kith and kin, every people, they are all hunters. They are all hunting all the day. They are very rude. They are also very cruel. That has been shown in the Purana. They are all very cruel. They were very cruel. They even attacked Lord Muruga. They were very cruel. But without knowing that he is the Lord Muruga, they just attacked him because they thought that he snatched their girl. So, Valli, among the hunters, she was always thinking about Lord Muruga, and Lord Muruga came in search of her. So, it doesn't matter where you are. You may be in this world. You may be amidst a lot of commitments. Of course, among these circumstantial bindings, you have been chained to a lot of things. But even though you have been chained, you may dedicate your thoughts, you may dedicate your sincerity, you may dedicate your love to the Lord. You should not blame the time, you should not blame others. If you are keen enough, if you are really keen, if you are really interested, you can show love for the Lord anywhere, at any circumstance, under any circumstances. Nobody can prevent you from showing your love to the Almighty. So slowly, every day, slowly your love for Him should grow. That's what happened with Valli. Valli had grown to a matured girl. But at that time when she was asked to safeguard the field, she went there and she was praying, she was chanting Lord Muruga's name, and she was always thinking, and she has dedicated, she was not even interested in good food or in other things. She was always thinking about Lord Muruga. That is why Lord Muruga came in search of her. As a matter of fact, in Kandapuranam, Narada, on seeing her, will go and inform Lord Muruga in Tirthani, Valli is waiting for you. Valli is always chanting about you. Why don't you go and grace her? That is how the story goes. What does it mean? A guru will definitely recommend our sincere love to the Almighty. If we are sincere, we may not have direct contact with the Lordship, we may not understand what He says. So there may be an intermediate person called Guru who will take you to the Lord. So he will represent on behalf of you. Of course, if your love is sincere, if your love is continuous, if your love is without break, these are all the very important conditions for your love to reach Lord Muruga. I cannot show my love in my prayers whenever I feel good or whenever I feel it comfortable. A puja is not to be performed when I am comfortable. A puja should be performed whether you are comfortable, whether you are uncomfortable. The puja should never be stopped. There should not be any hurdle for your puja. It should be continuous. It pertains most of the puja, it pertains only with your thoughts. Physically you may be handicapped, physically you may be you may be detained from performing a puja, but still the puja should not be stopped. It should be carried out in some form or other. You understand? So the thought counts. The thought counts. Your interest counts. Your real sincere love counts. Nothing else. So Kuravar Madamagal means the daughter of the hunters. Kuravar Madamagal, the young daughter of the hunters, the cruel hunters. Kodibol Nusupin, under the unfavorable conditions, Kodibol Nusupin means it doesn't mean about the waist. Of course, the real meaning is the waist is very thin. Is very thin. Kodibol Nusupin. Nusupin means the waist. But actually, what does it mean? The circumstances may not be favorable. Under the unfavorable circumstances, Koravar Madamagal, Kodibol Nusupin, Madavaral Valliyodu, always thinking about Lord Muruga, Valli. So Nagai Amarandandre, Lord Muruga was very much pleased to come in person. He came in person. Valli doesn't go in search of Lord Muruga. Lord Muruga came in search of Valli. In the forest, he was wandering. And finally, he approached and convinced Valli. So likewise, the souls are blessed. He is having one face for the blessed souls. The blessed souls are represented in the name of Valli. Valli is nothing but the representative of the blessed souls. Nagai Amardandre means Lord Muruga comes in search of the soul, blesses and takes the soul along with him, and it never gets parted with the Lord Muruga. So that is how the sixth countenance is accounted for. மாயிருள் ஞானம் மறுவின்றி விளங்க பல்கதிர் விரிந்தன்று ஒரு முகம் ஆர்வலர் ஏத்த அமர்ந்து நிதொழுகி காதலின் உவந்து வரம் கொடுத்தன்றே. ஒரு முகம் மந்திர விதியின் மரபுளி வழா அந்தணர் வேள்வி ஓர்க்குமே. ஒரு முகம் எஞ்சிய பொருள்களை ஏமுற நாடி திங்கள் போல திசை விளக்குமே. ஒரு முகம் செருணர் தேத்து செல் சமம் முறுக்கி கருவுகொள் நெஞ்சமுடு களம்பேட்டன்றே. ஒரு முகம் குறவர் மடமகள் கொடிபோடு சுப்பின் மடவரல் வள்ளியோடு நகை அமர்ந்து அன்றே. See the functional details of all the 6 phases. Of course, the 6 phases of His grace, the countenance, 6 countenances means that 6 functional details of Lord Muruga, the Almighty. The Almighty is looked upon in 6 different ways. He is showing His mercy, blessing in 6 different ways. The functional details are put up as if Lord Muruga is having 6 countenances and 12 hands. So we must understand the deity, the holy deity of the Saivam has meaning, not just like that out of imagination or out of illumination. The deities are depicted, the deities are formed, or the deities are carved. You should not think like that. There are rules, there are details. In Agamam, in Sivakumar, in Agamam, all the details are available for the deities. What should be the height? What should be the breadth of the shoulder? What should be the length of the hand? What should be the length of the fingers? All these minute details are available in Agamam for the idols. For the idols we have to form. So even when we draw the picture, some pictures are being drawn effortlessly. We see all those pictures, we cannot say that they are according to the rules. That is why people say that don't get pictures of Lords everywhere you want. You must purchase, you must get the pictures only from the authorized places. If the painting should be done by authorized persons, because it should have the details minutely, and it, for example, if you draw Lord Murugan along with his veil, the spear-like thing, weapon, the veil, people will say that the Lord Muruga should always be worshipped with his veil. Veil means the spear-like weapon. The veil is very important. Veil. By veil he is known as Velavan. It is very important. See, whenever you draw the veil, what should be the size of the veil? What should be size of it? There are rules. For example, the veil, the weapon, should always be on his right side, not on the left. It should not be drawn on the left. You should not show that as if he is holding it in his left hand. he will never hold the veil in his left hand. It should be on the right, always right. The height of the veil should never exceed the level of his right ear. The height should be such that it should be below the level of the right ear. This is the right side. I do not know whether it is the correct side for you to view, but I mean right side, right ear. The veil should not exceed above this. It should be below this. That has been the rule. It should be only on his right, and it should not, the height should not exceed this limit. And what the veil should always be worshipped along with Murugan. Without a veil, Murugan should not be worshipped. வேல் இன்றி கந்தனை பூசை செய்தால் பயன் வீண்படுமே. வண்ணச்சரபம் தண்டபாணி சுவாமிகள் has said, if you pray Lord Muruga without a veil, it may not be fruitful. The prayer may not yield result. You understand? So there are details for all the weapons he is holding in his other 11 hands. Or other 11 hands. They may be holding some weapons. All the weapons are awarded or gifted by Lord Siva for the war, for the Surabanman's war. Okay, now we must now concentrate. Now we have discussed about Deivayani and Valli. We must concentrate now with the three important identifications, three important things that we are worshipping, praying in Lord Muruga. The one is the peacock, another one is the rooster, and another one is the Jnana veil, the spear. These three things that we must see to it that we get the fullest details and the finest details of these three things. You must understand that the peacock and the rooster, they came out of Surabadman on the final day. When Surabadman lost everything in the war, he was trying to hide himself in the forest, in the sea. He ran away from the battlefield. And he went and was hiding as a mango tree in a sea. But how can he hide himself from the Almighty? Worldly persons he can hide. Can we hide from the Almighty? Some people are doing crimes, some people are doing mistakes, saying that nobody has seen it. How can you do one thing without being seen by others? Maybe you may do it without being seen by others, but how can it be done without the knowledge of the Almighty? When Guru asked his disciples, he called all of them. There were about 4 or 5 people. He called them. He gave mango to each person, one mango to each disciple. All of them took it. Guru instructed, you just consume this mango, you eat it, but the only condition is this is a blessed one. This mango is a blessed one. You must eat it without being seen by anybody else. You eat it, but without being seen. You should eat in a place where you are not seen by anybody. Whether you are going to hide yourself, whether you are going to shut yourself within a room, I do not know. but nobody should see you. Nobody should see you. Nobody should be a witness. You understand? You go away, he said. All the disciples went away with the mango, and after a certain period, after a certain time in the evening, the Guru called all the disciples and asked them, okay, today forenoon I gave you the mangoes. Did you consume them? One of the fellows said, sir, oh Guru, I just consumed, being shut myself with a room. I even closed the windows. I consumed there. So I had just taken it away. Okay, good. Another disciple was called. What did you do? That fellow said, I also consumed it. I just covered me with a bedsheet. Within the bedsheet, I was able to consume the mango. I just ate it, he said. Okay. The third fellow was called, and he also said, nobody seen me eating it. I ate the fruit. Likewise, everybody said. The last fellow, the fifth fellow, he was coming and he was still holding the mango. Guru asked, what is this? You didn't consume? You have not taken it? And that fellow said, no, Guru, I was not able to fulfill your condition. That's why I didn't take it. What is the condition I have laid? Guru, you have told that I must eat it where I am not being seen by anybody. That is the condition you laid. Yes. Could you not find a place where you are not seen? And the disciple said, no, Guru, if I go to a room, if I go to a kitchen, if I go to a place where there is nobody, still I cannot eat the mango because I feel the presence of you. You are just looking at me wherever I go. I am never under the cover of my Guru. My Guru is always looking at me. My Guru is always having a look upon me. So I never feel alone. Your kindness and graceness always following me. He said like that. Guru was very much happy. He was very happy. He was very happy. Is it not? You must always feel the presence of the Guru. You must always feel the presence, not physically. Likewise, we must always feel the presence of Lord. Wherever you go, you are being taken care of. Unnil unnum, unnavidil vittidum. Unnil means rendu suri nana. Small na. Unnil means if you think about God, He is thinking about you. It's just a reflection. If you don't think about Him, then God will say He is very busy with the world. Let Him finish all things and come. So He will not think about you also. Unnil unnum, unnavidil vittidum. That's what upper describes. So we must always understand that whenever we think about Him, He is with us. Oh God, where will I go without you? What can you do without you? What can I think without you? You are always helping me. You are always ready. I must help. This soul may call me. The soul requires my help. The soul requires my shelter. The soul requires my security. I will extend. That's how God, if you are continuously thinking about Him, He continuously thinks about you. Is it not? So likewise, this is the basic theory of our Saivam. So the holy deities, what we find in temples, they are all according to the rules of Agamam. Sivakumar gives all the details. Where to place the main deity, where to place the other deities, where to place the main deity, what should be the distance from the main deity to the entrance, what should be the size of the Karuvarai, that is the temple. That is called the temple. Actually, Karuvarai is called the temple. The other places are complex. It is known as Alayam. Koil means Karuvarai, Alayam means complex. So, the main temple, what should be the size? What should be the size of the complex? According to our comfort and convenience, the rules are there. The rules are there. We have to follow the rules. Then only it will be effective. So, all the deities with their details, don't think that they are imaginary. Nothing is imaginary. Everything has its own details. They have been, the deity in that form has been viewed, has been darshaned by a saint. What he saw, what he viewed. For example, Triyana Sambandar saw, and the same thing and the same view Appa Swami had, and Sundaram Swami had, our Manivasaka Peruman also had. Varnagirinathar was able to see Lord Muruga. Likewise, Srimad Paman Swamigal was able to see Payani Andi. You just understand. So, all these saints, all these people, they had the genuine darshans, genuine views, and then only they gave the details. Of course, we may not be matured enough to see the darshan in real form. Of course, whatever they worshipped, whatever they got, we got it in the form of picture, paintings, idols, carvings, sculptures, all these things. They evolved only out of reality, not out of imagination or illusion. They evolved out of reality, and the reality pertains to the grace of our great saints. So, whatever we describe here about our holy deities are being evolved only out of reality, and they, each and every detail has its own meaning, has its own meaning. So, now we have been discussing for the past 1 hour about the spouses Deivayani and Valli, their real. Now we are going to have discussions on peacock, rooster, and the spear-like weapon, the veil. Well, I don't want to give another name for veil, because veil, that is the name of it. You cannot change the proper name, the name of the this thing. So, veil means victory. Whenever you say veil, success. So, you should not change, you should not find a word on behalf of veil. You just utter veil. Like Muruga, can you find a word equivalent to Muruga? Muruga is the name. Likewise, veil means the complete personification of Lord Muruga is veil. In the next session, we will see a beautiful picture of veil. We are going to see the veil. Aழ்ந்து அகன்ற நுண்ணியனே, ஆழ்ந்து அகன்ற நுண்ணியனே. That is how the veil should be looked upon. So, we are going to see all the details of these things in the coming sessions. Now, I am very happy that we were able to discuss so many details in this session, and we have to thank the Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saivam, who are responsible, who are the real people behind this show, because unless otherwise their interest is there, this would not have been coming out so successfully. It is only because of their dedication and interest we are seeing this English serial, and we are going to see many more sessions on Lord Muruga and Lord Vinayaka. They will bless us on hearing this, and also they will make this serial a successful one, and without break let it go on with their grace. With this, I want to conclude this session by chanting the 6-lettered mantra. I request you to follow me. Om Saravana Bhava, Om Saravana Bhava, Om Saravana Bhava, Om Saravana Bhava, Om Saravana Bhava. Tiruchitrambalam. Again, we are going to meet in this evening, a program sponsored by our Kamalavada Satsangam ICF on Tirumandram. We will meet. Thank you very much. Let Lord Siva and Lord Muruga, let them bestow their best blessings on us. Let us come over, let us win over all the difficulties we are encountering now. God is there. Believe Him. You rest, you pray sincerely, and you offer your prayers sincerely at His lotus feet. Definitely you will get the security. You will get the get His bliss, get His grace, get His shelter, get His security. You will be definitely blessed. Don't worry about that. Never feel stressed. Never feel afraid. You always utter His 5-lettered mantra Namah Shivaya or His 6-lettered mantra Sharavana Bhava. You will be taken care of. Don't worry. Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.